Hi, my name is Jack Cox. I'm in charge of CBRE's Industrial and Logistics Service Line.
Nick Cook, President of GLP here in Europe.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel van der Stichelen, CEO of Mileway.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Nigel Rowe, Mount Park.
So my name is Robert Dobrzycki. I am CEO of Pantoni.
Hi everyone, this is Ben Bannatyne. I'm the President for Prologis in Europe.
Andy Gulliford, I'm Chief Operating Officer at Segro.
Well, joking aside, thanks Eddie for putting together this cast.
Yeah, well, we've heard how logistics has been a net beneficiary of COVID-19. I'm interested to find out if you think there's going to be a downside for logistics post-COVID. If COVID has lifted logistics up, could the disappearance of COVID bring it down? I'm interested to see if you think how much of a risk you guys think that is.
What COVID has done has accelerated the shift onto online by some considerable distance, maybe by a decade. When I see people of my parents' generation moving from entirely non-online to online, along with many others, I simply don't think they're going to bounce back. So I don't believe there will be a measurable or noticeable drop-off in the fundamentals that we've been experiencing through the COVID area once and if, hopefully when, that starts to die away. I think this is a permanent shift that was coming anyway, but has just been accelerated.
That's very interesting.
In response to the supply piece, it's been mentioned earlier by others, but I think, as both a developer, investor, and manager, I think the response to the supply-demand fundamentals amongst the developer community has been very disciplined, and as a result, there isn't a supply-demand imbalance. In fact, vacancy, if you look across Europe, is still at its relative all-time lows. And I think, as I say, that has been a response, a result of a very responsible approach to development by the majority of the developers, many of whom are represented on this call.
Thank you, Nick.
Dominic, maybe I could offer some statistics around that.
Please, yeah.
So, for Nick's point on the disciplined nature of the developer response. Every year since 2009, take-up has exceeded the rate of completions across Europe. In some cases, in the trough years, it was a multiple, and the same holds true for the first half of this year, when again take-up has exceeded completions. That really shouldn't be understated. What could reverse that? Well, I think probably the only thing that could really reverse that would be, a rapid loosening of the availability of debt finance for speculative development. But I think notwithstanding the underweight position of the banks to the sector, I don't think there's any suggestion that's going to happen. In terms of whether there could be some sort of reversal of what's recently been one-way traffic. If we look to I think there's some really good and clear data that's come from the UK market. In the run-up to the lockdown, 2 weeks to the run-up to the lockdown, they're in the order of 79 million additional visits to bricks and mortar food stores. But in that same period, online sales rose 14%. So I think that it speaks directly to Nick's point that e-commerce and shopping online is just part of the lifestyle choice and how we choose to live our lives. When we look at the spike in e-commerce penetration in the UK alone, we see it's risen from 20% to around 33%, and then with the gradual reopening, it's dropped to around 27%. But this is the short-term impact, and I think probably correlates very accurately with what Emmanuel was saying about performance in rent growth in his sector. And Emmanuel will obviously comment himself, but a flattish Q2 followed by a robust Q3, and I think that's mirrored whether you're talking to Emmanuel and his huge urban footprint, or whether you're talking to Nigel, and about his big box French footprint. So I don't think this time the logistics market, big box or small box, is over the head of its skis. I think all the guys on this call who are best of the best are making decisions based, on empirical evidence. That evidence is very solid.
Thank you.
Sorry, Dominic, just as an anecdotal quick comment, we've had very, very limited insolvencies through this COVID period. We have one in one of our Park Royal estates. It's a mid-box, I guess, 50,000 square feet. And this party were in trouble, frankly, before COVID. COVID just kind of led to their demise. We had 3 other occupiers on the estate onto us before we'd even sort of taken back possession, and they were all online. So all 3 were transferring. So I think the danger of that kind of second-hand space coming back from sort of old style, if you like, is actually to some extent can be on the right estate in the right location and opportunity. So we're going to sign a better lease at a higher rate and also go to regear with their existing accommodation. So anecdotally, it's clear this is a shift and a change.